Hey, how's it, everybody? This is Michael Jullian with It Stoked, Mind Waves, and One Vlogcast podcast. Welcome to One, where the whole focus here is to provide positive content to help us gain a sense of better physical, mental, and inner spiritual well-being to overcome our challenges and obstacles, especially amidst these challenging times that we're in terms of COVID. And today I'm really stoked and pumped about another episode of One with another good friend of mine who is an extraordinary human being, somebody that I met 3.5, 4 years ago, who is an artist, an extraordinary musician, and a freestyle skateboarder, who is quite an iconic dude here in Costa Rica that I met online. We were actually just communicating based on the fact that we're both musicians, and we were interested in meeting each other years ago. And for one reason or another, it was just difficult at that time. We would always set up plans to do it, and then for some reason it would fall through and we weren't able to connect. And amidst some changes and coming back here to Costa Rica, I reached out to Fabian Rz and wanted to get together, and it finally occurred last year. It was a magical moment. He came in from Alejuela as I was staying in Jaco, Costa Rica, and we had a fantastic night, hung out, talked about a lot of really cool stuff, and enjoyed some guitar playing and some partying and stuff. So I wanted to have Fabian on. I reached out to Fabian in terms of being involved with One. He loved the concept, and I love Fabian's outlook. He's a very positive person no matter what's thrown at him. So I thought it would be a really good time to set up an interview with him. And with that said, Fabian Rz, how are you, brother? What's going on?
Man. Hey, what's up?
It's good to see you.
That was a nice intro, man. That's cool. Thanks. I'm glad to be here talking with you, having some coffee.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Waking up here in Costa Rica. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day here in Playa Hermosa. How's it going to be with you?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be nice, but it's kind of cloudy. It's still nice.
Nice. Good.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm really appreciative that you wanted to do this. And, in terms of starting this vlog podcast, I wanted to, provide content to folks that, gives a sense of a positive outlook on things, what we can do to improve our mental health as well as physical and inner spiritual well-being. I mean, keep ourselves active, motivated, and attain a sense of happiness right now, as opposed to focusing on all of the things that are bringing so much, intense emotion and worry about the outcome of the future of the planet and where we are, where we stand.
Yeah.
And, I've been reaching out to musicians in the musician community first, because all of us share that vibe, we are lucky that we have that interest and that love for music first, which kind of keeps us going. So, but, I think where I was leading last interview with my buddy Dennis was, I was asking folks what the word one means to them in terms of where you stand as a human being and just where you're feeling, the position of the world right now. What's the word one mean to you, man?
The word one, as I said, it's like, could be just a number, but I know from the perspective we're talking right now, means that we're all one. And a lot of people has been saying that since forever, but we still seem to not getting it, and it's showing up everywhere. Like, we're all affected by the same, and we're all blessed by the same.
Right on, man. Well, it's so true, and I mean, think about it. COVID is the one thing I've seen that has been the most impactful in terms of, human society, getting that message. This has affected everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're the poorest person on the planet or if you're in the 1% and you're, in the billionaire club. This thing has shut our lives down in many ways and altered, the way that we go about living our lives. So I really truly believe the same thing. It was rad. My friend Dennis that I had on last interview, he was saying, we are all one, we are carbon, and I really truly believe the same thing. I mean, if we are human, we are one, and we got to figure out ways to communicate and create positive thinking and create positive energy and share right now. And I really, that's the whole purpose of doing these things, mind waves. And this one is to share information, share our stories, and try to be a positive inspiration to people so that we do have the ability to communicate on a more efficient level to potentially save this planet, buy ourselves some more time, you know?
Yeah.
Right on. You know, I wanted to ask you too, like, what was it that made you want to come on board to do this? I mean, other than us being friends, what was the one thing that made you feel like this was something interesting or something you wanted to do?
Well, yeah, of course, first of all, because I mean we're friends and it's good just to be here talking about something that we think it's shareable, you know?
Yeah.
And the way you asked me is like, yeah, we just need to spread the good vibe right now. That's all we're trying to do. Like, this shouldn't be perfect. We're just two dudes talking, and but if somebody might be bored right now, and we're just spreading, talking about something, you know, like sharing the good vibe and getting back to the one concept that and right now we could be all connected, like even in this way, you know, with the internet
Mhm.
and use it the right way. Because I could be right now just sharing like weird memes or hateful things, or you know, like a lot of people share like content that is very very disgusting to see. You know, like that I avoid. You know,
I
and
agree
there's
totally 100%. Like, you know, it's a question of how
yeah
you use it. You can use it in a
yeah
healthy, positive way, or you can really use it in a
yeah.
very negative, destructive way. There's no doubt about that.
That's why I got on board because it sounds good. You know, I think it's a nice project. You know, and the more people we have talking here will be pretty fun.
Right on, man. Well, cool. I'm looking forward to it. You know, there are a lot of people who want to come on board, and you know, I'm going to be speaking to people all over the globe, and you know, with different points of view and different subject matter, different subject content. But that you just hit the nail right on the head. You know, it's to share just a positive vibration in general, because it's so obvious right now how the technology itself, you know, is also kind of a endemic, pandemic kind of a situation in terms of what it's doing to us in our frontal lobe if we're
Yeah,
constantly scrolling and looking at bullshit online. So, you know, this is a purpose as well, which was to provide content that's fun, enriching, you know, educational, things that ease the mind, things that
right.
engage people on a level where if you watch a piece of content on this vlog, hopefully when it was over, it made you feel good. You know, that's the whole point is, you know, cool, man, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Go ahead and have a good day. You know?
Yeah, yeah,
That's pretty
good.
much
And I like you. That's great. Yeah, yeah.
right on. Well, you know,
I like that.
go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, I like your way of thinking, you know, like, and we need reminders all the time because we need repetition. That's why, like, when you're trying to sell something, like, you know, the commercials on TV, they're repeated all day long because they are stuck in it in your head. And if we talk about good subjects more, it will be the same thing, but in a good manner. You know, we're not telling you war or anything. It's like, hey, relax, turn off the news, see the day, you know, it's okay, man. Like you're not dying. Like come on, like, you know, like enjoy your day and turn off the media or whatever negative thing, you know.
Right. Right. I think that's a big thing in terms of, especially what COVID has presented us. You know, it's really
Oh
a challenge to kind of readdress what are we doing, what is our purpose, you know, and especially with multimedia in play, it can get heavy, man, you know, to see how distracted, how scared, how negative, how heavy things are with people being repetitious about things in multimedia that are not healthy, not mentally healthy. So i'm I'm totally, you know, in agreement with you on that. But I just thought it'd be rad to have you on, man, and tell people who you are. I mean, your story's incredible. I love your outlook on life. I love how you know, how you approach obstacles and challenges in your life. And, you know, that was one thing that immediately made us friends, you know, I think years ago, was that somehow we sensed that about one another. But this
right.
idea that here you are, this amazing skater, and, you know, you've come up with this rad idea that, you know, you've been a musician a long time and you've been playing, you know, way cool music in my book. But then the idea of making the skateboard guitars and playing lap steel on the skateboards, and then busking in Alejuela. I mean, you really came from like ground zero where nobody knew of you or what you were doing. And then as I was watching you on social media, I was watching you explode in terms of just people here in Costa Rica just being absolutely blown away and entertained by you. and then somehow it leads to you signing with Volcom and touring the United States and playing your instruments, which you make by hand yourself. I mean, that's incredible. Like, can you tell everybody how that happened?
Sounds good, right? Like, yeah, man, I'm glad. I'm thankful, and it's great, yeah, man. And I think it comes from having, like, back to the same subject, like a good approach to life. Because instead of complaining, oh, I'm a musician, I don't make money, why don't you just go to the street and don't and stop complaining, and then everything happened. But I went with a great vibe as well, you know.
Uh-huh.
I went with a great vibe too, like, you know, I was digging it, and that, and people felt that, and happened what happened, what's been going on.
And what was the deal with Volcom? Like, how did all that occur?
um the first, it happened from a video busk in those days, to be honest, you know.
Okay.
When I first was going to San Jose, and and then I switched to the skateboard, so the show improved, and I was doing like a one-man band, like hitting a plastic trash bucket and a tambourine with the other one, totally out of tune, totally out of tempo, and people were loving it. You know, like, now I watch those videos, I cringe, you know, like, it's like, because I sound, you know, like, not my best sound, um but yeah, man, you gotta go with what you got, you know. I can't wait until I'm ready, you know, like, otherwise I'll be here waiting, you know.
Oh, that's such a good point, man. Nice one. I love that. And I think that's
Yeah.
something that we need to strongly share with human beings out there, which is there is there's a danger point with too much preparation, right, in life. You
Oh
know, the
yeah.
mind is perplexed about thinking about what we're going to do and trying to gain this sense of perfection first. You know, first I'm going to get it to the point where it's perfect, and then people will be able to see it and they'll love it, and I'll become whatever I'm, you know, whatever my endeavor is. That is really the wrong direction to take, based on
Oh,
the fact that you limit yourself, your time, and potentially your art and your true talent, you know,
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
constantly waiting for the perfect day. So that was a good point to make. I like that.
Oh man, yeah, totally. That's a good one to remember. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. We forget, but we need to be like repeating it, so we start acting on it.
Right. It's an in motion situation, isn't it? Like, much better to wake up on a day and realize, hey,
Man,
all I have to do is do, you know,
yeah, yeah,
just move forward and do the things that are important to you,
yeah,
to one,
yeah.
provide yourself your own happiness first, you know,
Oh
to not
yeah.
necessarily think about a goal, you know, or an objective, you know. It's
Oh
just,
yeah.
look, you kind of hit it the other day, right? We were talking about getting this interview going on, and you said some beautiful things. I loved it. And I'd be stoked if you shared, you know, with folks out there viewing this thing, that whole
Oh yeah.
idea of give to give. You remember when you said that?
Totally. Yeah, yeah. I love that concept, man. Give to give. Yeah.
Well,
And yeah, that's part of, when you ask me what brought me to all that, all what happened to me, that was like a really positive, I could say was because I was given to give, you know, like just going, you know, going on to the street is kind of hard, you know, like, I mean, for me it was, I guess some people don't care, but man, it's kind of, and more if you go to downtown San Jose, man, in the middle of the mess, you know, like, so to ease my mind, I was I, I was just given to give, like that was the idea that eased me, you know, like, I'm just like doing this not because I'm trying to get money, which I was, you know, but instead of having that approach, I was like, oh, I'm gonna share this with them, and I'm gonna try to give them my best, just to give. and and okay, I actually, I never, when I bust, I never asked for money, you know, like I just set up a tip jar,
mm-hmm.
and, which is obvious that I'm accepting, but I'm not asking. So I'm just giving to give. And people love that. They were inspired because they're kind of used to buskers, like at the end of the show, like, hey, and compromising them and saying like all this like things to them. But I wasn't like that. So I think that even inspired people to give me more. It's like,
Right.
I just,
Absolutely, man. And you know, and I love the way that you did it too. You know, I mean, I've done some street performing in my time way back when, and did some
Yeah.
busking in Massachusetts. I did some in Colorado. You know, and it
Oh,
is
no.
that beautiful, beautiful thing that when you just give rhythmic energy to people in a public space, the
Yeah.
magic
It,
that occurs. Like some of your videos when I was watching how you were affecting little teeny children,
oh,
little
dude.
groms, just
Yeah.
how they're just completely rocking out to you and just feeling you like rhythmically, tribally was magic. I mean, it was a blessing to watch, you know, and it was at that time where I was really interested in, you know, meeting you at some point. And I was
Yeah.
actually here in country too, but then finally, and I realized why these things were going to happen for you. You know, was that give to give. You know, you were putting out so much positive,
Yeah.
colorful, inviting, connected, kinetic energy that, you know, it was obvious that something magical was going to occur. And then hysterical, the next year I come, I'm like looking at your posts and stuff, and I'm like, holy goodness, man, he's hanging out in Texas. He's in Venice Beach, California, where I used to live. You know, you're hanging in Dogtown and having a good
Yeah.
time and playing on the pier. And I was just, and it was beautiful to me because I,
Yeah.
I realized how strong that is as a positive message to the planet. Give to give. Do it because you love it. And then
Right.
to
Yeah.
realize what happens in human energy when, you know, you start to receive without asking for a thing. You know, you put
Right.
out, and that's what people really get entertained with. I think, you know, they fall in love with the idea that you know yourself truly,
Yeah.
that you can give to give, and you're not really looking for anything back. And of course, this is when we start to receive everything.
I mean, probably what I'm looking to get is the given, you know? Wow,
Right.
that'd be good, right?
That was very, very well put. Nice. I like that.
Yeah, but it's very easy to forget, man. To be honest, I get caught every day, like getting in behaviors when I'm like in that wanting to get thing, you know. But it's good we're talking about it because, yeah, it's a good reminder, man. Sometimes, and every time I get into that vibe, man, things don't work, you know, like the
Yeah,
way.
it's crazy. As soon as you do it again, everything stops again, right?
Totally, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really good. And I'm so glad you brought that up because that's a big message that I send on Mind Waves. And I'm definitely doing it here as well, which is that it takes practice. You know,
yeah,
so many people in life who are looking up or have envy or even jealousy of people who are doing something that they admire. And
yeah,
I think what they're not cognizant of is the fact that that is a waste of time and inner spiritual energy.
yeah. You
You
should
know,
get inspired.
what
But
they're not aware of and it's not cognizant in them is that they're avoiding themselves. You know,
yeah,
you are literally preoccupying yourself with something else, somebody else outwardly, when all of that energy is inside of you to potentially feed you as an energy
yeah,
source, you know? So that's a really, really good point, you know, you made. I love that one too. But it does require practice. I'm in the same boat, and that's something I really want to promote in terms of just better mental health and just getting people to be stoked about their inner energy, you know? So I can't hit that one enough. That was rad. So I have some other questions for you, man.
yeah.
Um, you know, and I know we talked about doing additional interviews with you, which I'm really stoked about. And as musicians, we'll definitely get together and provide some stuff. When you come from Alejuela here to play Hermosa and Jaco again, we'll definitely capture some stuff on camera and we'll play together. That'll be cool. But talk to us about how you got into doing what you do as a specialized musician. I mean, this idea that you took skateboard decks and then made lap steels out of them to play rad blues and like 60s, 70s rock and roll music.
Cool.
That is so cool and amazing. And I've always been curious as to how did that idea come into your head?
Well, I don't know. I think first I felt attracted to weird instruments, you know, like the weird funky guitar and people with cigar boxes and because I love the Delta blues, you know. So I realized that, well, man, like uh, you don't need like a $2,000 guitar to play great music.
Right.
yeah, and also because I'm inspired by the blues, you know, like they were not wealthy. The first bluesmen, they were like working, hard working people, man. And I grew up without a lot of money to buy like great guitars. So for me, it was more sound the idea of building my own lap steel than get the money. For me, it was easier to, you know, like and and yeah, and then I really did it because of busking, man. Because I started busking and the first time I went with a regular acoustic guitar. And I, you know, I played until my fingers bleed and everything. And I made some cash the very first time. I was nervous, man. I was like, you know, like, I mean, I was like a kid and in the street in a different town, man. Like, I just, because I had like a regular job, right? I got fired from a regular job back then and I needed money, man. And the job sucked so bad that I was like, dude, I gotta go try playing the street, like just to see like how much I make an hour. And that very first time I did more in an hour than I did in my job, you know. So
Right.
that kind of light the bulb, and I say, well, you know, if I think if I get better, you know, if I give more, you know, like better quality show, I probably get more cash in the end and more stuff, you know, more blessings backwards. So that's how I got there, you know, like. And then I played with this guy that played buckets, and so I noticed that the shift went from people watching a guy playing a guitar from just watching something weird and different like buckets instead of a regular drum. So I was like, yeah, definitely I need one of those weird instruments. And me being a skater and loving the sound of the slide. Oh, and I started playing the guitar like this way, like the regular acoustic guitar, like flipping it, like a lap steel.
Right. Right.
I was doing that, and then I got the thing with the skateboard. I did it, man, and I went and it was good, man. The change, like literally the shows went better, and I was like feeling the street of San Jose, and cops had to kick me out because people couldn't walk. And I'm
Well,
like, hey, yeah.
as a
I was
musician,
also,
that's a good thing. It's not good for them. It's definitely good for you.
yeah. I knew that the music quality wasn't the greatest, so I sat on an invisible chair that is like a little busking trick as well, like really antique trick, like where you look like you're sitting on air, but you actually have like something holding you under your clothes
Uh-huh.
because it's a show, you know. So I was sitting in the air playing that thing. So if people didn't like the music, they like the fact that I was sitting in the air and figuring it out how. It was all weird, man. Like, you know.
That's cool. But up to this point, like, you had never ever had any luthier experience, had you? I mean, you never built an instrument by yourself up to this point. You were just playing on your
Yeah.
lap with guitars, right?
Just first try, man. I could even change the string of my guitar.
That's incredible, man. I mean, in terms of what you've done thus far, wow. I
Yeah.
mean, and by the way, for anybody viewing this, it is a known fact that I'm absolutely in love with Fabian's work in terms of these skateboard lap steels. They're epic, and he got into doing customs, and it's gnarly. And you guys will see them in future episodes of Fabian and I. He's going to show off some of his gear, and I definitely want to have some made. But man, some of that stuff that you were doing when you were in California, I mean, they're gorgeous, gorgeous instruments, in terms of
Oh
just
yeah, yeah.
how you're doing everything, the setups, the pickup systems, the paint jobs, all that stuff. You know,
Yeah.
nice job, dude.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you think so. And it's been a process, man. Every next one's getting better.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we
Yeah.
definitely got to showcase some music. We've been talking about that, right? You want to play one while I'm playing with you. Maybe we can shoot some video next time you come to Hawker and get a gig down here and get that on the vlog. But
Yeah. Tomorrow.
okay, okay. Well, I'm really, really stoked that you wanted to do this, man. And you know, your outlook is very inspirational, not only to me, but I know it will be to many, many other people, to get folks to focus on all the things, all the key points that you hit in this one, give to give, enjoy doing what you do just to do it. and how magical it is that the universe starts to deliver. You know, call it what you want. Call it the
Yeah.
universe, call it energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But isn't it trippy in music how many of those stories exist, right? And beautiful that you mentioned the blues, because it's totally apparent in terms of all of the old blues musicians that are the source of rock and roll, period. You know, it's just a fact. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't have had rock and roll. But the idea of being lucky to just have one banged up rickety instrument to play on, you know. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the blues, and I've met some pretty big heavyweights in my life in terms of the blues, and I love those stories, you know. I mean, here they were, cotton farmers, and, you know, working on plantations, and, you know, fathers, mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers were slaves. And here is this one guy, whoever he might be, whether it have been, you know, a Robert Johnson from the very beginning, or a Muddy Waters, or a Buddy Guy, or, and on, you know, Gilbert, you know, Sumlin, Howlin' Wolf, anybody, amazing that they're there doing this to do it. You know, that was the thing. They're like, look, man, I want to do something else. I don't want to work in the field all day. I've got this thing, and it's a good way to soothe the soul of everybody who's been busting their ass working all day. You know, that give to give. You know, I get to be me and play and have that, but the inspiration was also coming off of the fact that they were, you know, allowing their own culture and community to chill out, you know, and enjoy and relax after, you know, super hard days of work, and to be able to party and let loose and have fun, you know. So I think that's the best point we've made here, man. You made it and you hit it, you know, is give to give, and all of a sudden things are given to you.
Yeah. You see what happened to people who steals. The opposite. You close the door, man. You just close the door, and if you do totally the opposite, like totally the opposite, you go to heaven.
Well, perhaps.
Well, you know, like you know, like on Earth, you know, what I mean is like your life won't be a hell, man. Like.
Right, exactly. Well, what else do you do? I mean, you talk to me about the physical. Are you still you skating a lot right now?
Dude, I'm just getting back to it. You know, like the last month, I actually got, you know, like, but I've been like very out of skateboarding, to be honest. Like it's hard on your body, man. I can skate without beating myself. It's just not happening. And I can't skate very stuff. I just can't. I like to try, like, you know.
It's all or nothing with you, right?
Dude, yeah, man. Like no joke, man. Like I can't. Yeah, man. Like
so you'd be bored skating with me, right? The old man. If I like gave you longboard and just said, "Man, let's just push," you'd be like, "Ah." You're like, you want to fly down like 20 steps and stuff?
I love the feeling of just cruise, you know, like totally. I love, you know, and I love that. Now is the thing that I do, you know. Now I'm the cruise guy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. That was yesterday skating. I mean, that's tiny, man. That's nothing.
Oh yeah.
Like, but you know, it means like I flip in the ground, you know, like. But it's good, man. And it's a good exercise. I do skating. I'm trying to do it a bit healthy, man. Actually, right now I'm drinking. And here there is like this thing called linaza. I don't know if you know about it.
No, I'm not familiar.
It's a plant. It's just a plant, man. And you cut it and you wash it and you put it in water, and it starts like infusing the water with this thick, like a very thick, flavorless thing. Like, let's say like salvia kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
But it's great for your stomach, man. Like, because the thick thing fix your walls, you know, like, you know, smooth them out, you know?
You definitely have to send me some information about that, man. Can I,
Yeah.
you know, if I can get it here in Playa Hermosa or Jaco?
Totally, man. It's a Costa Rican thing, and it tastes great, man. It's like so refreshing, and it's like linaza, man.
Linaza. Huh.
Yeah, and it's good, man. I bought like a big thing for 600 colones.
Wow, so it's inexpensive, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then you recycle the water. You just fill it with water, you drink it, and then you just add more water, and the thing keeps giving you that thing, man. Remedy, man.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
That's cool, man, because I would definitely want to provide content that serves people better physical health in terms of, things like dietary regiment. So that's way cool that you brought that up. I'll investigate it. Maybe we can get some more information when I do another vlog and talk
Yeah.
about the, you know, like the physical benefits of it. That's really, really cool. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you too. Like, would you be open if we shot another vlog at some point? I'd love it if we could maybe show folks the creation of one of your instruments too, you know, down the road.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe some old video content you have of you making your guitars, because I find it fascinating, man, that you nailed it so tightly, so fast, without any schooling, not being a luthier or working in a shop. That's pretty epic, you know, how well they play and the tonality of them. I have to just say it. I'm in love with your instruments. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. We need to get you one. Come on, we need to get you one.
Absolutely, we gotta design one and make one soon.
Just an old skateboard. You have it already. I've seen that Sector 9, right? Was it?
Yeah, yeah. I have the big original, and I have a Sector, and I have the dregs board too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we should probably like pick out a deck and do it from scratch, you know? I love some of those finishes you did on the ones previous to this one that you've been playing. Like the red one that you did and the pink and aqua one that you did. And those are badass. The way that you had the Western pickup kind of played on it and pickups angled and all of that's rad to me. So we'll have to definitely do something.
Because I'm missing that pretty bad. Because I was doing that when I was in LA, where I could get like everything I wanted, like
this.
Yeah, because I had friends with storage units filled with things collected 20 years from picking up guitars from trash or friends or every guitar, man. Like
right.
And here it's been complicated, man. I actually just made one. Like in the last year, man, my own.
Right.
I made 3, but 2 got sold. But yeah, man. So and I was making like 3 a week over there. So I'm like, dude, I don't want to get rusted, man, but it's okay.
Right. Well, we got ways to figure that out. I mean, it is definitely a challenge to be a rock and roll musician in this country, and to have, you know, access to things is tough. There's no doubt about it. It's not like, I mean, think about it. When you and I were living in Santa Monica and Venice, you know, we're in the most epic place to get every single thing that we love, from, you know, jewelry to clothing to parts for our guitars to everything to make a guitar. You know what I mean? You're living in the land of norms, you know. So I mean, it's definitely not the same world here in Costa Rica, you know, in terms of getting stuff. But I've got a good line out of Miami with a good friend who's going to start importing stuff to me. So we should talk about that offline, and we'll hook that up, and maybe we can get a board going, you know, get a guitar going. But
sure, man.
Well, listen, man, I want to thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate your time, and you know, much love to you, bro. Your friendship means an immeasurable amount to me, and I'm really looking forward to having you on again, and we'll do some music and stuff like that. So, you know, I hope you have a good day today. And for everybody out there watching this podcast of ONE, just remember, you're not alone in this thing. We're all going through the same set of circumstances. It's how we adjust, how we utilize our time, how we ease our minds, and how we empower our minds and ourselves and our inner spirituality, our inner systems, to live fulfilled lives no matter what the circumstances are right now. All it requires is patience, and for you to remember what really truly drives you to enjoy you. So until next time, I hope everybody stays safe, stay healthy, make sure you maintain a good sense of physical regime, you know, and know that there are folks out there that care and that you can connect. If you want to subscribe to the channel, I'd be stoked on that. Feel free to reach out to us with any ideas you have in terms of future vlog or podcast content, and new content will be coming at you soon. So until next time, I love you, brother.
Bye, man. See you later.
See ya. I love you. ONE
love.